Hi guys, welcome back to She Tried It. It's a little bit gloomy outside today, so I feel like my shadow's a bit cast on the video. I mentioned in my booktube newbie tag that I really enjoyed crocheting at coffee shops and reading or listening to an audiobook. So nobody asked, but I wanted to explain more about my whole crocheting journey, if you want to call it that. So I started crocheting when I was maybe 12 or 13. I remember my first exposure to crocheting was my stepmom actually showing me how to crochet. I'm not sure why she taught me that. I didn't need to know it for anything. I used to spend the summers, like a month in the summer at my dad's house. And when I was over there, I just remember one summer she taught me how to crochet and I really, really liked it. But it was just that summer. It wasn't something I picked up on every single summer that I did all the time when I went over there. I got into it that summer, I learned it, and kind of let it go. And I think I don't know if I learned it right. My stuff never looked that great. That's all I remember. And I don't think I have anything that I made back in that time. Fast forward to a few months ago, it started with watching a video from Evelyn from the internet. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with her. She's a great YouTuber. I love her channel. She's really, really funny. But she was doing a video on hobbies and she was talking about how you should have something that you enjoy doing that you don't need to get paid for. I was thinking about it and just off the top of my mind, I couldn't think of just one thing. So that made me think, okay, I need to get into a hobby. And for some reason, crochet came back up in my mind. And I was like, I should learn how to crochet. And this was after getting into the whole reading thing. So by this time I had my library card and they had said that the library had classes. So I was like, let me go look and see what classes the library has to offer. Lo and behold, the library had a introduction to crochet class. So I was like, let me sign up for that because I learned a long time ago, but if I get some yarn and some crochet hook, then I wouldn't know what to do. I went to the class and at the start of the class, the lady was asking, is anyone left-handed? And I was like, me. And it was just like, the whole room fell silent, like, what, you're left-handed? And apparently being left-handed and crocheting, it makes things a bit backwards, but I mean, being left-handed, you're kind of used to everything being backwards. You're always taught things kind of a bit differently, or your teacher doesn't care and she just teaches you the way the right-handed people do it and expects you to adapt to the world. But she taught me, again, how to left-hand crochet. And thinking about it, I was wondering, because my stepmom is right-handed, I'm wondering if she taught me the right-handed way. No, I was left-handed crochet. I don't think I ever grasped the left-handed way to do things when I was taught by my stepmom. And she is a librarian, she works at the library, but she teaches these classes. She taught me how to do the left-handed crochet. There aren't that many left-handed YouTube videos, but I did pick up on some of them just to kind of grasp the techniques and everything, because you can take a couple hour, 2 or 3 hour class at the library, but then when you get home and you're doing it on your own, my stuff was coming out raggedy. So I went to 2 or 3 classes that the lady taught and they were awesome. So now going into a few of the things that I've made, and I've made some very weird stuff, and if y'all like this part, I can make this maybe, I don't know about monthly because this is over a quite long span of time, but maybe we can find some increment that y'all enjoy where y'all just want to see what I'm making. I do post pictures on my Instagram, She Tried It, and please feel free to follow me on there. But I do post pictures on my Instagram of different things that I'm working on, so feel free to look there for anything that I've done. But just to share a few of the things that may or may not be in my Instagram, because I don't share everything there, but I could share everything here because everything is not a win. But this is the first thing I made. Go in the comments and let me know what you think this might be. But this came about because when I went to my first crochet class, I was gung-ho. I was like, I'm gonna make everything. So I made some type of, the goal was to make a sweater or a blanket, and first off the yarn was itchy, so that was not going well. And it was flailing out and ripply, which I didn't want. So I couldn't figure out how to make a solid block of yarn, like where the edges were straighter and everything. So just to kind of practice, I was like, okay, let me make this. So I made this, kind of got the hang of doing stitches correctly, just single stitch, or not single, see, I don't even know the term, so I'm not gonna be teaching on here probably, but single stitch crocheting, just to get the very, very basics down. And then toward the end, I was like, let me make these armholes. So for anyone wondering, this is like a stretch strap. So if I want to do like back stretches, or I can put my foot in it and like lift my foot up, I can just kind of stretch using it. And I think the armholes help. I really like stretching, first off, but this kind of helps with the whole stretching thing, and I really, really enjoyed it. So it's something very basic. I feel like it's useful, but you know, maybe nobody else does, but I really, really like this. I do remember with this same yarn, I did make my niece a dress for Christmas, and I'll post a picture of that here. When I gave it to her on Christmas Day, she didn't really seem like she liked it, but then fast forward to a few months later, homegirl was in love with that dress. My sister was telling me that she would come home from school and she would put on her little dress that I made her, and it's not very well made at all. Good thing is she's little, so she'll grow out of it soon. Yeah, that dress is maybe gonna last her another couple weeks. I just crocheted the top and the straps on very raggedly, and then I super glued the goal was to sew on the cloth part, but I super glued it because the sewing wasn't really working for me, so I super glued that on, and on the day I gave it to her on Christmas, that part was ripping off. It's not gonna be around very long. Another thing I made that I was not happy about, I do know what I could change. I'm very happy about this little strap thing, but that's simple. I have made this. Let me put it back on the hanger actually. I made this. So this is a sweater. It's not bad, but I don't like it. It's very thick, huge stitches, if you can kind of see that. It's just very large, chunky yarn. Now it's cute as maybe a robe around the house. I don't wear it for that. It would be nice to wear around the house. I would never go out in public with this thing. I just don't think it's very cute. But the goal was to kind of have the arms taper in, and I still haven't really learned how to do that, but I'm working on something right now where I think I might do it correctly, how I wanted it. This feels super, super soft, and that's probably the best thing about it. It took a while, but not as long as the new thing I'm working on, because now I really enjoy yarn that's smaller. This was very simple to make. There's a ton, if you just look up easy crochet sweater, it's typically just a matter of crocheting different rectangles together, and it makes it into a sweater. It's very, very easy to make. So it's not something that's that complicated. I just don't like how chunky it is. Also, I live in Houston, so there's never really a need for something this thick. If anyone thinks this is cute, let me know. You could have it. I mean, I'm not that gung-ho about it. For Christmas time, my job had a Christmas stocking decorating party, and my office has 2 separate offices, so I would have to travel to the main office to go do that, and I didn't have time to do that. So I was just thinking, oh, well, maybe I can make my own Christmas stocking, and I didn't know how to crochet in the round. I still don't think that I do. Starting the magic circle, I think it's called, with left-handed, I have not grasped that yet, but I did a workaround and I created these. Hopefully this is a picture of the stockings I made for me and my boyfriend. If not, it'll just be the stocking that I made for myself. But I did make Christmas stockings and I loved it. It was actually out of the same yarn that the sweater was made out of that I didn't like. I loved how soft it was. I didn't think that I'd want to wear that as a clothing item. So it was really nice as a decorative piece. When I put it up in my office, outside my office door at work, a lot of people were thinking, oh wow, or asking me, wow, where did you buy that? I was like, actually I made it. So that was really, really cool. Also around Christmas, and I don't have a picture of it, but I had a Secret Santa and I crocheted her with the exact same yarn as a sweater because I liked it so much. I had her for Secret Santa and she really liked kombucha. So I bought her a kombucha and then I crocheted her like a little koozie for her to put her kombucha in. She loved it. And I never would have guessed that. I think she said her favorite color was plum, and I looked over and saw this plum yarn that I was working with. I put that on the kombucha and she really, really enjoyed it. I haven't walked over to see if she still uses it, but I think she liked it. Another thing I made is this, and I made these in the picture, but I made a pillow for my boyfriend and I. He has his at his place. We don't live together. We can get into that, to the Christian stuff. I made him a pillow and I made me a pillow. It is very nice. This is one of those moments where I wish you could like feel it. But this back side, this is just the leftovers. His was the main thing. I think that was a Valentine's Day gift that I made for him. But this is velvet yarn, Bernat velvet yarn. It feels amazing. I don't know if you're not a yarn person, that's cool, but just go to the yarn store and feel the velvet yarn. It feels amazing. But I had some leftover yarn, so I just kind of crocheted the C on, which I really, really liked. And then I had black yarn and I just filled it up with some stuffing. It's not the most evenly stuffed pillow, but I really like it. It's very decorative, and everything in my apartment's kind of, everything. Everything in my apartment is pretty much gray and black now that I look around. It matches the decor here and I really enjoy it. And that's pretty much all the finished items I have. I have things that I've made but I haven't completely finished, so in the next video I can share those with you. So now to get into some of my favorites, and like I said, I'm a newbie, so take my favorites with a grain of salt. You may want to watch a bigger YouTuber for that. My favorite hooks, this is one by Knitter's Pride, and it's a really, really nice hook. I just have this one, but the other hooks that I have are very similar to this, and this is just the kind of hook I like. I like it when the top hook part is aluminum and there's this grippy portion for the handle. I just feel like it works better. Sometimes I can oil up a little too much in the shower or after the shower and it can be a little bit slippery, or I just don't like how it feels. Having this grippy thing is really, really nice. I got it off Amazon, and actually, just to give her all the credit, I say that, but I will put the lady's name, the Instagram that I found this hook on. Her page is so aesthetically pleasing, and I was just thinking, I gotta have that gold and black hook. To get all the hooks, I couldn't find them all in one set. I just ended up buying a set of hooks from Amazon that were very, very similar to this. They're just in different colors, like purple, orange, blue. They're very bright colors. It's not as neutral and kind of pretty as this one, but it works. In terms of yarn, it really depends on what I'm making. I don't have a huge preference when it comes to yarn. I did say I didn't really like the chunky yarn for clothing. So this type of yarn, this is Premier yarn, and it's a chunkier yarn. I'd probably use it more for like maybe a pillow or something home decor-y. Also, like, this is kind of, well, it doesn't really shed, but I don't like stuff that sheds very much either. So this yarn has been my favorite lately, and I really, really, really enjoy this yarn. It's very, very soft. What I'm working on at this present moment is with this exact yarn. So hopefully I can post that in my next video, but I like the thinner, I can show you that a little bit closer. I like the thinner type of yarn. And with this, it suggests, if you look in the back, it says it's a weight 5, and then it suggests you use a 6mm hook. But with this one, with what I'm making, I'm actually using a 5mm hook, and I like how it's coming out. It's looking really, really nice. In terms of where I buy my yarn, I pretty much get all of my yarn either from Joann's, Walmart, or Hobby Lobby. Joann's and Walmart are very, very close together. I like Walmart because it's just cheap. They have the Karen Simply Soft yarn. Love that yarn just as much as I love this one. It's really, really great. So in terms of my hobby, and I'll get into this more as I do more YouTube videos, but I did mention that I go to a coffee shop and I will basically listen to an audiobook on my phone. And what I do is I listen to it from Hoopla. Not sure how many of you are familiar with this app. I haven't heard many people talk about it on YouTube, but it's probably because the Hoopla app goes with your library. So if your local library doesn't have it, maybe you don't have access to it. I'm not sure that it's like an Audible where you can just set up an account by yourself. It's a very, very good app. Every local library has their own limit. I think for a while I was getting 8 books a month, which is a great deal. So 8 books a month for free, just with your library card. Right now I'm getting 5 books a month. For a while I was getting 3 books a month. So I don't know how they set the schedule or set how many books people can get, but the library sets that with the Hoopla app, and you're just kind of a third party benefiting from it, and it's a really, really great app. If you've used it, let me know. That's actually all I wanted to share about my crochet journey. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm very new. I doubt that this will be some type of crochet tutorial channel because that's just not who I am. I'd love to share with anybody who's new into the crochet world. I'd love to get some inspiration and just talk about where you get your inspiration from or anything like that. Just let me know. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, as I always say, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.